Thank you, Ellis. Mr. Fasil, you can address the question.
Hi, Lydia.
Can she first introduce her name? Ellis, yeah, it's much
Lydia,
better.
I think she's Lydia from Kenya.
Yes, Lydia from Kenya. Thank you.
Yeah, Lydia, I think this is a question where the project leader herself is not included in some of the decisions. And whereas the team that she leads have the information that she does not have. And it seems to be somewhat, it's a conflict between, it's a conflict that has, for some reason, there between the management and the project leader. And it may require another level to address it. And I don't see whether this actually is in line with the topic of my presentation. So I kindly refer this to Mr. Ndale Makonnen. Maybe he has some ideas, or any other person in the room for that matter, including, yeah.
Thank you, Fasil. Thank you for inviting me to say something on this. Yes, actually, Lydia, the point you mentioned is really very sensitive, which basically we call it in project, that is organizational politics and organizational asset. There are some organizations who prefer to use overpassing management style. So the issue, of course, it is a conflict. It should be resolved. But the conflict is between the project leader and the management, or it could be between the project leader and the team. So the main point here as project management skill is a stakeholder management skill, and expertise should come here. Of course, to manage the stakeholders, the interpersonal skills are important. One of the interpersonal skills is a facilitation. And maybe you should start by questioning the following probing questions to yourself. First, why? What did I miss with the team to have this communication breakout between the management and the team? That is the first thing. The second thing, you have to ask: is there any missed activities that I did to the team in facilitating or propagating their ideas to proper management? Because always, when as Fasil initially said previously, during conflict, the first intention is to work on yourself rather than pushing others to understand your angle or your thought, your perspective. You have to think towards yourself and understand and have an empathy to the other peoples. So in this regard, you have to ask yourself, one, in terms of team, what did I miss for the team? In case you don't know whether the team is jumped over or whether the management is jumped over. So that is the first question. The second question, again, comes to yourself related to your management. Why the management prefers to bypass me to the team? You have to ask this again. Is that because I missed something which I should deliver? Or is there any process asset that allows the management? So if your questions bring you an answer that there are some indications you missed in between, you have to start work on yourself and try to engage to that team and the management. But if in case, again, there is a rule or a procedure that can allow managers or team members to jump over each other, again, since as a project manager, you have to understand your environmental factors and organizational process assets and devise a mechanism and try to find another rules on ways how you can be part of this conversation. I think this is the major skills or the important skills what I'm looking in this regard. But maybe if I get a chance, Aidan, do you allow me to ask a question to Fasil?
Yes, of course. You can ask. The floor is yours.
Thank you. Yeah, initially, I think Aminat had raised the issue when there is a conflict, what will be the facilitator's perspective? Now, that I think that leads to Lydia's question. Just Lydia thought that there is a conflict between. But my point to Fasil is, what if the team you facilitating could not reach to consensus or to some point? What the facilitator's action to be? That is the first question I needed to give us a brief. And second, yeah, as we know, based on the different development approaches, especially when we are concentrated on agile, we see facilitation as a major skill, a leadership skill required for project managers. So in this regard, yes, maybe I know there's no any level. What I mean, facilitation in agile is very important, and facilitation in waterfall is not important. I'm not comparing that way, but what type of facilitation really requires based on the development approach? I think there are two questions. Thank you very much. Lydia, maybe if you have any extended question or follow-up questions, I'm open to listen and react. Thank you so much, Eden and Damare.
I think Billy has something to say to complement on what Ndala said.
Maybe Billy can add on this. You can reflect your thoughts.
Hi. Okay. So, thank you. My thoughts were actually on the previous question around how a project manager should handle a situation where communication goes over their heads by management. And so usually you find the project managers do not exist at higher ranks in the structures, like they don't sit on excos. And this is a major issue because when it comes to managing conflict pertaining to executives, it becomes difficult because a project manager is maybe 3 lines down. So what is usually important and what personally I've seen work is when you're initiating a project at the beginning, rather than just having a project manager and a change manager, it's important to have a sponsor, a very clear sponsor from executive. And I speak sponsor not from a financial management perspective, the way we look at sponsors in project management. So you should have more or less like a product owner who sits on exco or in higher senior management, who will then help to bring to the table some of these challenges that a project manager would potentially face, because it's much easier to resolve issues at that high level using a person who's sitting at the table, provided there is that alignment. And then the last piece is just around how we manage, projects using change management, using the ADKAR methodology. Are people aware of why we are changing this or why we have a project manager, right? And then do they have the desire to actually change? So, because everybody looks in for what is in it for me. So, and conflict arises from there if people feel unaddressed, and people respond in different ways. Sometimes they ignore you. Sometimes, they will fight you using corporate politics. But when they acknowledge that you are there to actually help push the aspiration for the organization forward, it becomes easier, because all projects don't land because project managers want to win. It's because we want to meet a strategic goal. So once all the stakeholders understand that, it becomes much easier. So the work for a project manager is actually much harder because you lead by inspiration and by persuasion, because you do not have seniority in terms of the positioning. So that's just where I wanted to weigh in. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Billy. Mr. Fasil, you can continue.
All right. Thank you, Ndal. Actually, I gave you the opportunity to respond to Lily, not to ask me a question. But if you have asked in terms of consensus, what will happen if the group do not reach at consensus? What do we mean by consensus? What's our understanding of consensus? For example, if you are in a meeting in a group looking for a solution for a certain problem, 10 people come up with different ideas. You ask them to brainstorm on that very topic, and they come up with their own ideas. And the next thing you do is usually you can look for ways to cluster the different ideas into 2 or 3, and you have to use tools which you be usually used for prioritizing from among the given options. And so when you do that, for example, you can use dot voting as one of your resources. Like voting could be one of the ways we can prioritize from among the given solutions, or we can use, there are different other methods. Priority matrix could be another one. So we will have, in the first place, we will need to have a group. When we do meetings, we need to have a sort of protocol where the group respects. And facilitation, one of the things it does is that people should feel that their voices are heard, they are valued, and people should understand that people have different views on given topics. So we have to lead them through different processes using different tools. I don't know whether you remember what Destiny Ethiopia did to the different political parties in our country. That was facilitation. And they have to let them go through different topics. And finally, they came up with different scenarios, if you remember. That was the result of facilitation. It doesn't mean consensus is like they should all agree to one topic, but they should come into somehow some sort of agreement to take that point for that particular time. And another one in Agile, we have different meetings, we have different facilitative skills to do the Agile projects. If I understand your question, when it comes to the waterfall or other development projects, there are still facilitative tools. And if we say a facilitation is about mindset, in the first place, the project manager should consider himself or herself as a team member and should value and respect and honor the voices of the team. And in that case, it becomes easier to do facilitation in different events and meetings we conduct in in running either a development project or, as you mentioned, agile projects. It's about the mindset of the project manager. And if you are if someone is bossy and wants only his views to be considered, and in that case, there is no need to call for a meeting. If it's your points that should go. If you, for example, are the only person who will do the stakeholder mapping and analysis matrix, if you don't involve your team, about the relevance and the influence and whatever of the stakeholders, if you don't listen to other people, what's the need for calling that meeting? And that's what's happening currently. But facilitative mindset of a project manager or of a project leader is a very great requirement nowadays. That's the point. Thank you.
Thank you, Fasil. Thank you from my end. Addressed.
Okay. Thank you, Fasil. There's also a question which is more realistic and very common in the workplace. Samson Sabi has raised a question. What is the best way to handle a meeting member who is quite senior in the organization hierarchy and seemingly trying to overshadow the other participants?
I think everyone can answer this question, but to start with, one of the ways that should be done in conducting such meetings in having ground rules. We normally have ground rules set aside, but we tend not to use them. And usually people who are seniors, and we usually are afraid to speak when our bosses are around. So one of the things is that to have the buy-in of that senior person about the objective of the meeting. It's not about personality, it's about the results we want to come up with. So it takes a lot, but this is one of the things that should happen, especially in Ethiopia. Meetings are not being facilitated, and meetings are being dominated. And the perspective, the thinking we have about meetings is that they are boring, your voices are not heard, you just go to attend them, not to participate. But to end that, it takes project managers to discuss about meetings themselves. And in one of the organizations where I worked, there was a course called Accelerated Delivery and Input. It was entirely about leading effective meetings. And it was shared across the board to the senior management so that they can apply those things. And I think this is what should happen, but I can sense the challenge in the meetings we are running in our organizations. There is a similar question about the hierarchical organizations we have, but we have to fight for it. We have to let the leadership know that meetings should be handled in a certain way if we are expecting results.
Okay, thank you. So for the time's sake, we have only 10 minutes left. So we're going to have only one question. So I will give this to Ndalo. So Ndalo, you can ask your question.
Okay. Okay, thank you. Can you hear me? Hello?
Yes, of course, we can hear you.
Okay. First, I would like to thank you for your sessions and for the presentation. Thanks to Mr. Fasils. So I have one question saying this. Shall we say that facilitators use Scrum events for Mr. Fasil? Thank you.
Leading this to Ndala or someone else who has done Scrum. But one of the things I would say is facilitators are not subject specific. They can you don't have to know about that specific profession to facilitate a meeting. And that even can save you from being biased. So in Scrum events, if there are sessions where groups meet, the facilitators can be used. But for a better understanding, whoever has done a Scrum, you can speak on that. Thank you.
Okay, so maybe last chance. I know there are many questions you want to address since it's a very interesting topic, but for the matter of time, we're going to end this question and answer, and I will give the last chance to Makonnen Getachew. Makonnen, you can ask.
Unmute.
Can you hear me, please, now?
Yes, of course, we can hear you.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Fasil and Edu, for the presentation and facilitation. And I've asked a question on the chat box about soft skills, but not answered. Of course, it's not a question. It needs more elaboration. We engineers are mostly focused on the hard skills rather than the soft skills. But those soft skills like communication, facilitation, and other things are very important. Therefore, here I want to suggest some points on this. And the first one is the communication skills. The listening is more important than speaking. Great communicators aren't just great talkers, they're exceptional listeners. The second one is body language. Speaks louder than words. Communication isn't just verbal. Our facial expression, posture, and gesture often say more than our words. The third one, confidence comes from clarity, not volume. Many assume that being a strong communicator means speaking loudly or dominating a conversation. The fourth one, emotional intelligence, strengthens every interaction. Understanding your emotions and the emotions of others is a game changer. The fifth one is adapt your communication to your audience. One message does not fit all, whether you are talking to a friend, a colleague, or a large audience. The sixth one is asking the right question leads to a better conversation. Instead of focusing on what to say next. Then the last one is handling a conflict gracefully is a skill with mastery. Disagreements are inevitable, but how we handle them makes all the differences. Therefore, considering these points as a project manager, every morning when we hold a meeting, we just have to listen all our team members, and the meeting should not take more than 30 minutes, because as a project manager, we just focus on the problems to be resolved and go to the next work. Thank you very much. My name is McConan from railway engineer.
Thank you,
Back to you.
Makonnen. We are very happy to have you here.
Back to you. Okay, thank you, Amani.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you, Makonnen. Maybe Mr. Fasil,
All right.
if you have
Thank you
any
very
insight.
much. It's been a very insightful remark from Makonnen, and I think it's a point to be taken. Yes, we need to be intentional about our personal development, and being a project manager on its own does not make you a communicator. You have to work on yourself. You have to work on the different skills that are available to make you a better person in the area in which you're working. And I would like to thank again for the opportunity given to me to do this presentation. I would like to take this as a starting point. I'm saying I'm not sure whether I've not gone through it properly, but I don't see facilitation skills included in our guide. And this is an opportunity for us to voice ourselves, to see facilitation skills for the different events we have in the project management sessions. What facilitation skills can be suggested? And that could be a starting point. And training providers like Make can also make use of training facilitation skills for project managers. All we need is to be better in the way we do projects. Thank you, PMI Ethiopia. Thanks a lot.
Thank you, Mr. Fasil. So as we come to the end of this engaging session, I would like to say thank you to our presenter, Mr. Fasil, for his knowledge, clarity, and passion for sharing us with us. Your insightful on facilitative project management has left us inspired and equipped us to lead a greater collaboration and purpose. Thank you so much, Fasil. To our all wonderful participants, thank you for showing up, engaging in the chat, asking thoughtful questions, and making this truly a dynamic session. So we value your time and commitment to continuous learning. So for those of you who are not yet member of the PMI chapter, we warmly invite you to join our growing community of professionals dedicated to advancing project excellence in Ethiopia and beyond. So as a member, we shall have access to inclusive webinar like this each month, networking opportunity and mentorship programs. So we encourage you to join in the PMI Ethiopian chapter. So please follow us, share and everything that we shared on our LinkedIn post. So this LinkedIn post has been shared on the comment. So thank you everyone. So before we officially end this session, I would like to ask all of you to collaborate and kindly turn on your camera on and take some of the pictures that we will share on the LinkedIn. On the PDU, I will share you the PDU on the chat box, which is a PDU course. So you can access that on the chat box. So everyone, can you turn your camera on?
Can you please turn on mine, Ethan?
Okay. So, okay. Everyone, please join in.
Yeah.
You can wave, you can say hi. It's a culture in PMI. So
Hello,
feel
Billy.
free.
Hello, Billy. How are you? Hello, guys. So just to add up something, if Eden allow me.
Of course, you can.
Hello, everyone.
Yeah. Yeah. You know, our chapter have it has been redefined, reestablished, and one of the pillars is inclusivity. Every member is a leader. Every member can speak in our webinar. Everybody had an opportunity to share their expertise. That's how we create knowledge, by sharing. So this kind of session will be happening every week. And as you see it, we have so many volunteers, and if you want to be a volunteer, you can be part of us even if you are not part of the chapter, as long as you are an expert on project management. I see Engineer Mokonen, expert on railway. He's an official, by the way, and I see many people from different countries, and we welcome all of you. Just communicate me, Eden, Hiot, Elizabeth, Jonathan, and we have a lot of volunteers. And if you want to be a speaker or share your thoughts, we are very welcome. And back to you, Eden. And we always screenshot and tag everyone on the LinkedIn so that we have a strong community. And that's it. And finally, I hope to see you all in Kigali. And if you need any assistance, my team will be helping you, including me. Back to you, Eden.
Okay, ma'am. Ciao.
Thank you, Emmanuel. Thank you, everyone. Once again.
Yeah, did
So
you take the screenshot?
yes, of course we can.
Okay.
And that
Okay.
is Augustine.
Okay.
ጨርሻለሁ አይደል? ለውጣ ነው። ቻው ሂዱ።
Okay.
Nice to meet you.
Okay. Ciao. Bye,
Bye-bye.
guys. Have a nice day. Have a nice weekend.
Bye.
Bye, everyone. Thank you for joining.
Youth. Congratulations, Eden. Your first event.
Thank you.
It was amazing.
So we hope to